everybody, and welcome to W3L Wrestling Showdown here on the W3L network. I am, as ever, Stevie Wizard. Thank you, as always, for joining us, subscribing, and all that sort of stuff. Last week, I revealed to you the 7 participants in this year's 7 Deadly Sins event. Remember, it happens on Saturday, June 25th in Kirkcaldy. If you can't remember who those participants are, don't worry, I'll tell you later on. But as you know, the winner of 7 Deadly Sins gets a guaranteed heavyweight title shot in the main event of Resolution 10. And speaking of the heavyweight champion, Joey Legend's going to be joining us that weekend. He's going to be at 7 Deadly Sins. He'll be at Portree the day before, which is the 24th. He'll be in High Valleyfield the day after. And as far as I am aware, management are going to make sure that Joe Legend is defending the heavyweight title on all 3 of those events. So if you can be at Portree, Kirkcaldy, or High Valleyfield, or maybe even all 3, make sure that you do. You can of course get tickets from W3LWrestling.com. But ladies and gentlemen, before Joey Legend heads to Portree, Kirkcaldy, and High Valleyfield to defend the heavyweight title, he's got another task ahead of him. W3L management have decided to throw something of a curveball towards Joey Legend, and they have organised a #1 contenders battle royal. Wrestlers you are familiar with from W3L, perhaps some you won't be familiar with from our friends over at SSW, they've all been put in the mix, and one of these men will challenge Joey Legend for the heavyweight championship. Who's it going to be? Why don't we go to ringside to find out? Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is a #1 contenders battle royal. Introducing your participants, first of all, he is the merchandise Mike Musso. Introducing next, this is Wee J Small. Your next entrant is Brandon. Participant number 4 is Johnny Hollywood. Introducing next, he is the current SSW Hardcore Champion, Taco! Your next entrant, this is Muslim! Introducing next, he is one half of the SSW Tag Team Champions, Big Dave Jerry! Your next participant is Kaden King! Next, we have the notorious nobleman Lucian Maynard Smith! Introducing next, we have the mysterious Destroyer #1! Your next entrant, this is Tenacious Johnny Lyons! And your final entrant, he is the Tormentor, Jamie Joe! Yes,
ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with you on Wrestling Showdown, and we have a battle royal this week, with the winner getting a shot at the W3L Heavyweight Championship. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with some of the participants in this contest, certainly those from W3L you will be, and the rest of the battle royal is rounded out by stars from the SSW promotion. And of course, 2 weeks ago we saw Joey Legend retaining the heavyweight title against Grado, and so W3L management throwing him this challenge because he's got all these potential contenders, and one of these men will indeed face Joey Legend next week here in the showdown for the heavyweight title. And we are off and running. Look at this, bodies everywhere. It's going to be so hard to keep track of. There's Mysterious Destroyer #1. And look at this, Mike Musso trying to get Lucian Maynard Smith out of the ring. At the back of the ring, Big Dave Jeremy's being hammered by the Tormentor, Jamie Jones. This is Jones' debut in W3L. Management have been reluctant to put him on the shows due to his violent and dangerous nature. In fact, all the wrestlers in this battle royal have had to sign a waiver basically absolving W3L of any injuries or anything that may occur thanks to them being in with Jamie Jones. So he's a very dangerous man to be in with, and Lucian Maynard Smith showing no fear. Look at this! Jones has got him up! The power of Jamie Jones. And WJ Smalls almost eliminated. He's a newcomer to SSW. Just debuted in March. Musso with a double axe handle off the top. We see Taco in the background, popular Mexican star for SSW, and all in white. Johnny Hollywood being chopped to pieces by Brandon Adams, and Taco's eliminated. Out he goes. Caden King. We saw him just a couple weeks ago in that triple threat match. And a big body slam by tenacious Johnny Lyons. The Destroyer trying to throw Musso out. Johnny Hollywood hits a DDT. And Muslim seems to be tackling anybody that gets near him. So much happening in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. So difficult to keep track of. And Musso being flung into WJ Smalls. And the Destroyer crashes into the pair of them. Musso hanging on the ropes. Lucian Maynard Smith taking it straight to Johnny Hollywood. But Brandon Adams, the holder of the King of the Bing briefcase, going after him. And now they're conspiring to dump the nobleman. But he holds on. Muslim's almost out in the background there. Smalls on the apron, trying to avoid the Destroyer, but easier said than done as Jamie Jones goes down. And Muslim's been eliminated thanks to Johnny Lyons. The field beginning to thin out somewhat. And out goes Lucian Maynard Smith. And Dave Jeremy trying to get rid of Jamie Jones on the side of the ring. And he does. The Tormentor has been eliminated. And now all the rest of the participants can breathe a sigh of relief, I think. Johnny Lyons lands behind Mike Musso. This is still anybody's match. Of course, Dewey Legend will be watching this very closely. He has to face one of these men next week. And Johnny Hollywood lands on the apron. And a super kick from Brandon Adams sends him flying. Caden King crashing into the Destroyer. Unfinished business here as Musso gets dumped by Johnny Lyons. Seems to be injured in the process. Musso's got another match later on this week here in the Showdown as well. And Adams crashing to the floor. And Johnny Lyons revelling in the elimination of Mike Musso. And he's realised he's now in the final four. Caden King and Dave Jeremy. Destroyer number one, and Johnny Lyons, Destroyer number one, not having any of it. He doesn't want any friends or partners. Look at the power of this guy. Caden King's on the ring apron. Of course, 3 weeks ago it was Destroyer number one, Caden King and Butler. It's Dave Jeremy taking it to Johnny Lyons. And King on the apron is in dangerous territory. And just gets over. And Dave Jeremy dropping an elbow on Johnny Lyons. King trying to eliminate the Destroyer. Jeremy throttling Lyons in the back of the screen there. And look at the ease with which Caden King is lifted by the Destroyer. And drops him straight to the floor. So it's Destroyer number one, tenacious Johnny Lyons and Big Dave Jeremy. One of these men is meeting Joe E. Legend, which is no easy task when you consider how Legend has retained his title at every single opportunity. Though he used foreign objects, people stretch it out. Anything is... Hang on, Dave Jeremy with a reversal, and the Destroyer crashes to the floor. He is not happy about that, you can tell. He was not expecting it to go that way. So it's Jeremy and Lyons. Johnny Lyons was on Showdown back in March, battling Nathan Reynolds. He's obviously looking to get that heavyweight title shot. For Dave Jeremy, again, he's one half of the SSW Tag Team Champions. This is his first ever opportunity to potentially challenge for the heavyweight title. He definitely wants to make that happen. And a clothesline. And out goes Johnny Lyons.
So ladies and gentlemen, Big Dave Jeremy scores, appropriately enough, a big victory in that number 1 Contenders Battle Royal, and he will face Joey Legend for the Heavyweight Championship next week here on Wrestling Showdown. I hope you've hit subscribe. Now, as you know, the 7 Deadly Sins tournament takes 7 of the top stars in W3L. They pit them against each other over 4 rounds of pro wrestling's toughest tournament. And last week, I revealed the 7 participants in this year's event. People have said it could be the biggest, the best, the deepest lineup in history, and they might be right. The 3 members of the contingency plan, James Scott, Dickie Divers and Taylor Bryden, will face the Coffee Brothers, Mark and Joe, and Mike Musso, and Nathan Reynolds, both former winners of 7 Deadly Sins, in this tournament. 7 potential fantastic winners, every one of them deserving of a heavyweight title opportunity, I am sure you will agree, but only one man can get it. And speaking of those 7 participants, we're about to see a match between 2 men who are entered in this year's tournament. 2 men who are no strangers to each other, who have animosity, history, bad blood, you name it. James Scott of the Contingency Plan is going to face the merchandise Mike Musso 1-on-1. How will this affect 7 Deadly Sins? So only one way for us to find out. Let's get you back down to ringside for this week's second match.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the pride of Musso,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce joining you for the second match this week here on Wrestling Showdown. A man you saw earlier on, the merchandise Mike Musso, in singles action against James Scott of the Contingency Plan. Now these 2 men have of course fought numerous times before. Remember back in January here on the Showdown, they met in the finals of the number 1 Contenders tournament. Musso won that contest, of course marched on to face Joey Legend at Remedy. But this is just a straightforward singles match. There's no number 1 contendership on line, but there's still plenty of animosity as Scott immediately gets to the ropes, saying that his hair was pulled. I'm sure that was not the case. Now, if you're a regular follower of Wrestling Showdown, of W3L as a whole, you will know all the issues concerning the Contingency Plan and Mike Musso. There's still bad blood and animosity between both factions basically, and any chance for Musso to get revenge on the Contingency Plan he is going to take, and he gets an opportunity to put James Scott in his place here in this contest. But currently it's James Scott that's putting Musso in his place, and just to say that there's a reverse of that Irish whip, and Musso strikes with the clothesline. And charging him with that avalanche, and he remembers the times he's been driven through tables, he's been laid out by the Contingency Plan, and now that they are no longer tag champs, this is maybe the opportunity for him to finish them off for good. And James got rolling to the floor, just breaking the momentum, keeping away from Musso. Referee Thomas Kearns telling the merchandise to stay back, applying the mandatory 10 count, and Scott in absolutely no hurry to get back in the ring. We've seen him do this before, and look at this, Musso ain't waiting around, he's giving chase, and you can hear them battling around the building here, and James Scott's been caught. Musso just clobbering him. If you saw Remedy back in February, you will have seen Joe Legend and Mike Musso brawling around the building, so this is familiar territory for Mike Musso, has to be said. Needs to watch that he doesn't get counted out, however. Needs to pay attention to the referee's count. I mean, certainly a victory is a victory, but I'm sure Musso would love to score a pinfall or a submission have a decisive defeat of James Scott. And conspicuous by their absence are the rest of the contingency plan, Taylor Bryden and Dickie Divers. I'm sure they're keeping an eye on this somewhere. And hear the crowd on the side of Mike Musso, just as we all came to expect. And it's that crowd support that's made him so popular, so tough to beat over the years. That's given him all those heavyweight title reigns. And James Scott reeling, this match has not gone his way whatsoever. And yet another clothesline takes him down. Mike Musso goes in for a cover. Nets himself a 2 count in the process. As I mentioned previously here on Wrestling Showdown, it was Mike Musso that James Scott defeated to become the W3L Heavyweight Champion. That was of course back in April of 2010, so he has got Musso's number. We've seen him beat him before, but this week it looks a bit one-sided if you ask me. And Musso took a bit too long, and James Scott just dives at the top rope, and you see the effect it has. Musso ends up getting hung up after that bad landing. And a drop kick right in the spine of Mike Musso. The merchandise pounding out of that one, but things now going James Scott's way. After being bounced around, I think Musso took a bit too long to climb the top turnbuckle, and James Scott was able to recover and fire back. He's a tough competitor, of that there's no doubt, and it takes a lot to put him down. So he drops the knee, and you see going in for a pinfall again. He doesn't seem concerned with gaining revenge or adding further injury to Mike Musso. He just wants to beat him and beat him as soon as he can. Because I'm sure you are well aware, ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to give any advantage to Mike Musso, because he will take it. And certainly that's going to slow down any opportunity he may have had to fight back. Now James Scott dropped the knee into Musso's lower extremities. And a DDT. Thomas Kearns getting for the cover, but just nets him a 2. And you see James Scott now controlling the pace, slowing the match down a bit, and firing off some solid kicks. Now of course Scott has eyes, as does everybody in W3L, on the Heavyweight Championship. Hang on, Musso's got him and dumps him down and falls at the big splash. And Scott kicking out. And of course a victory for either man here is certainly going to make management put them in line, I would have thought, for a shot at the heavyweight title. As we know from the match earlier on, Dave Jeremy will face Joey Legend next week here on Wrestling Showdown. Look at this, James Scott goes to the eyes. He knows in position for the blunt force trauma, and is not going to taste that. And a beautiful German suplex. Now it's not often Mike Musso gets somebody who can German suplex him, but James Scott did. It's that low centre of gravity and the power in his body enabled him to launch Musso, who's lying really awkwardly. Thomas Kearns up to 4. Musso has not stirred yet. And Musso, I don't think he's going to beat the count. I think he's done. I think he's completely out. He's not moving. The referee checking on him. James Scott has this one wrapped up. I think he could easily drag Musso in the middle of the ring and pin him if the referee doesn't decide to stop it. And he's stomping on the arm. It's going to take away a lot of Musso's weapons if he's unable to pick somebody up or grab hold of them. James Scott just taking his time. I'm not even sure if Musso knows where he is. I mean, that was a nasty German suplex, and you saw the way he lay there. And down across the knee. That's right in the ribs. And if you've ever injured a rib, you'll know that every single breath you take stings. It aches. and that is going to make it so much more difficult for Musso to mount any sort of comeback here. Oh, and James Scott misses the stomp at the top. And Musso with a big boot. Nothing fancy about it. Just bides his time. And a knee lift. And goes straight in for a cover. This is what's made Musso the top man that he's been in W3L over the years. His tenacity, his ability to come back from seemingly the brink of defeat, and I honestly thought he was done for after that German suplex. And hooks the leg, and a nice cradle suplex there. And that seemed very close because it looked like all four shoulders were down. Certainly didn't go the way Musso wanted it, but he has the crowd behind him, and if he can put another nail in the coffin of the contingency plan, that is what he's going to do. Because the Coffey brothers, the tag team champions, we saw it here in the showdown, they defeated the plan, that no disqualification match. James Scott was in that match, he was half of the contingency plan for that night. He's not forgotten the bitter sting of defeat from the Coffey brothers. And of course he, Bryden and Divers would love to regain the tag belts, they'd love to regain the heavyweight championship as well. Musso drops the elbow. And James Scott writhing around in agony. It's a big man to be landing on your chest with a point in that elbow, and this could end up wrapping up the match. But Scott getting out of it. Remember, this is a man who's been wrestling since 2007. So he's been around a lot. Stumbling back to his feet. Musso's got hold of it. Oh, and lovely spinning kick. And look at this. Just as James Scott has the advantage over Mike Musso again, the contingency plan at ringside. There's Divers and Bryden. Hang on. Musso's got Scott up. And the plan, look at this. Musso clobbers Bryden. The referee being distracted by Taylor Bryden. And Diver snaps his neck on the top rope. And wait a minute, Scott's got that chain. James Scott's got the chain and just smashes Musso in the skull with it. Mike Musso just got hit with that chain. The referee did not see it. He turns round, sees James Scott covering Mike Musso and makes the 3 count. James Scott has stolen a victory, ladies and gentlemen. So James Scott wins this match this week on Wrestling Showdown.
James Scott stealing a victory from under Mike Musso with the assist of that chain there. Is this a portent of what will happen at 7 Deadly Sins? The only way to find it is by being there in person, and you can by going to our website W3Lwrestling.com and getting your tickets there. You know about Showdown as a coupon code, don't you? I thought you did. Now, the day before 7 Deadly Sins, which is Friday, June 24th, we're in Portree, and of course the day after, on the Sunday, we're going to be in High Valleyfield. If Joey Legend manages to scrape past Big Dave Jeremy next week here in the Showdown, if Joey Legend is still the heavyweight champion come June 24th in Portree, he'll be defending the title against El Technico. If you know El Technico, as I'm sure you've seen him here on the Showdown or perhaps in person at a live event, you'll know he is fantastic. And his match with Joey Legend, whether it's for the title or not, promises to be amazing. But here's the kicker. The only way you can see it is by being in Portree. It's not going to appear here on Showdown. We're not going to tape it. It's for the live crowd only. So if you want to see what promises to be a phenomenal event, a fantastic match, get yourself to Portree. And again, tickets for all our live events available from our website, W3Lwrestling.com. Ladies and gentlemen, as if Portree wasn't already going to be good enough, as if 7 Deadly Sins was going to be great. Remember, we have got live events the week after as well. On Thursday, June 30th, we are in Pennycook. On Friday, July 1st, we start off our Northern Tour in Wick. On Saturday, July 2nd, we are in both Ullapool and in Elgin for 2 shows in the one day. and then we round out the Northern Tour by going to Dingwall on this Sunday. Tickets for all them are available from our website as well. When you're at our website, have a look around, see all the cool stuff there. Give us a follow on Twitter, give us a like on Facebook, use the hashtag W3L Wrestling Showdown, and make your plans to be back here in 7 days' time, because Big Dave Jeremy battles Joey Legend for the heavyweight title and so much more on Wrestling Showdown.